was very strange, right? We started talking. We were talking smack. And all of a sudden it echoed our voices back, but I wasn't even recording yet.
And it was very quiet in mine. Was it very quiet?
Yes. It almost sounded like it came from my computer instead of in our headphones.
Yeah.
So Cass and I just recorded for the Clopen Effect, and we like to talk about the weekend
chit-chat.
and afterwards.
Yeah.
And she said something, and it made me look it up on ChatGPT because I always wondered this. And you said his name doesn't match his face.
Right. And it's like, I can't remember your name if it doesn't match your face.
And I've had that happen before, too.
And why do I accept most? Like, you are Meredith.
Right.
I've always accepted you as Meredith.
Yeah.
Why?
I can't picture you being anything other than Cassandra.
Right. So
Cass.
Is it because we had name badges on when we met? So it was like, oh, nope, that's their name. I'll never forget their name. It's right there on their name badge.
I
know?
can't picture you being Chloe,
Sarah,
Heidi.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Chloe.
You look like, I don't know. You look like a Cass to me.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird.
Like Bestie looks like hers. And I feel like my other Bestie looks like her name.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. So, I said that because it's like, I saw this person over the weekend and I was like, I think this is his name. And I'm like, I can't remember his name because it doesn't match his face.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There is someone at the store that we work at, like, I think he's been a store director in different stores. Oh, maybe up in Wisconsin. His name is Jeff.
Okay.
I always want to call him Mike.
Really?
He looks like a Mike.
Got an uncle Mike.
I don't even know. Yeah.
Got a brother-in-law Mike.
Right, exactly. But
and they look totally opposite and they look like their names.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What is it? What does ChatGPT tell us about it?
So it says studies show that people associate certain sounds in names with specific facial features. For example, a name like Bob may evoke a rounder facial feature due to the soft B sounds.
Yeah.
And this is called sound symbolism. So now think of all the Bobs in your life. Do they have round faces?
I don't have many Bobs in my life.
I have one. And I guess he does have kind of a round face.
You know what? Because what is Bob short for?
Robert.
I bet I have more Roberts in my life than I do Robert or Rob, which I feel the R then gives him a strong chin.
Like a cut.
Yeah. What the hell?
Weird. All right. How about expectations and social stereotypes?
Okay.
We unconsciously
consciously
link names to cultural or generational norms. For example, you're watching TikTok, it says, and someone named Gertrude is 6 years old in a hoodie doing like a little, it kind of glitches your brain a little bit.
That's my mother-in-law's name is Gertrude.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That seems to be an older name. Back in backdate, right?
And they called her Gertie.
What year is what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. And she'd probably be in her 90s by now.
Yeah.
Easy.
That sounds like someone that would be in their 90s.
Yeah. But I mean, that's like the name Karen. I hate that the name Karen gets so much hate, right? And then like now no one's going to name their kid Karen. Although I could never picture a baby named Karen.
Right.
I don't think I went to school with any Karens. It clearly was not a popular name when I was, my generation of being born. I think there was a lot of Jennifers, Jessicas.
Yep.
Emily's, those were the popular names.
So I did grow up with a Karen. She was so sweet. So anytime I hear something bad about a Karen, I'm like, I know that she's not like that.
Yeah.
She's a teacher.
I worked with a Karen, and I literally told her, I was like, I can't imagine you as a baby. Did they call you Karen as a child?
Right?
Because we associate it with such evil.
Mature and evil, right? Karen just sounds like an older name.
Yeah.
To me, it would be like Carl.
And Carl. I know a Carl.
Yeah. Are they older or younger?
They're my age.
So baby Carl.
Yeah.
Baby Carl.
Weird.
It seems like a mature name.
Well, there was Carl.
What are you doing, Carl? You're so cute. Look at your cheeks, Carl. Aw, little Care. Look at her cheeks. Like, I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
I just know on Walking Dead, his name was Carl, and he was a kid, and it fit him. I don't know why.
Okay, that is so strange.
I don't know why.
When you picture all the Jennifers in your life, I have a lot of Jennifers.
A lot.
What do they look like to you?
My sister. My sister was named after my mom's best friend, who was Jennifer.
Okay. What when you just
blonde?
Don't think of your okay.
Blonde hair, blue eyes is
so
kind of
you know
what
what's
I
funny
think.
is mine's the opposite.
Yeah.
All the Jennifers,
dark hair
with ponytails.
Yeah.
And dark eyes.
Yeah.
And maybe more of that olive skin tone because that's all the Jennifers that I know.
Yeah. 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 It's
right.
weird.
That's what I picture.
It's what we associate.
Maybe sometimes I have to think of Jen's name because she's blonde and blue-eyed because that's not the Jens that I grew up with.
Well, now she has darker hair, but us growing up, she always had blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird. Very weird.
Face name matching is a brain shortcut. So our brains love patterns.
Okay.
So when we hear a name, we try to connect it to faces we've seen before with that name. And then when that pattern breaks, it feels off to us.
So, you know what? And who are they? I don't know.
Yeah.
But they say that there's really only 7 different face patterns.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, listen to this one. I am picturing this actor. I'm sure he's done some Hallmark movies.
Okay.
Because I can picture him in like a Christmas one, I'm sure, over the holidays. He has the strongest chiseled jaw.
Okay.
So picture it coming out a little bit and then like almost like a cartoon character.
Okay.
So that is very specific, right?
Yeah.
But someone he's not related to in like, let's just say another movie or someone that I know down the street has that same chiseled jaw, but they're not related. So how did you get that?
Yeah.
Like, are we just all related?
Well, we are. I mean, ultimately, we are.
Right. But isn't that strange that would?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. You know, and then because like men grow beards, so that hides a lot of their facial features, where you might associate them with somebody else, but you don't know because they have a beard, you know. Women wear makeup, people get plastic surgery, like
I can't wait. Yeah. Have you seen the videos where the men with the beards will go shave?
Yes.
And then hold the kids and the kids don't know? No. First of all, that's mean. Don't do that. Shave in front of them so they can see the whole process.
I don't know. They still don't like it.
They don't.
No. That's like a whole different person. They're like, who is this stranger?
Self-fulfilling identity loop is the next one. It says, some research suggests, let me get my glasses on, people may grow into their names, taking on expressions or style that matches the cultural vibe of their name until someone totally flips the script. So that reminds me of
Karen.
Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, okay.
And who was his wife from The Cosby Show? She's got dreadlocks and his first wife, maybe. I don't know if they're still together. I think you know who I'm talking about, though. I feel like their names, like when you hear Lenny, and if I say Lenny Kravitz, is that who you think of? If you think of Lenny Kravitz, if I say Lenny Kravitz? What was her name?
Lisa Bonet.
Yeah, so she's got that style, right? But then I know another Lisa who is a police officer with blonde hair.
Yeah.
So I have a mix of Lisas.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And it's not, I think this is the thing, is not necessarily every Lisa you meet is going to look the same.
Right.
And not every Jennifer you meet is going to look the same.
Right.
But do you find somewhere in their face something similar to the other Jennifer and Lisas you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you say, his name is Bob, but I want to call him Mike or vice versa, it's just they look like a Mike.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look like a Bob.
Mm-hmm.
They look like a Richard, not a Dick. You know, like it's, I've met people who literally, everybody calls him Dick, you know, and that is a type. Yeah. But then you meet Richards, they're totally different than Dicks.
Totally different.
You know?
Yep. It's true.
So it's so weird how your mind does that.
Yep.
So I don't know.
I have a brother that's 10 years younger. And when my dad would get a little Krabby,
Yeah.
my brother would walk out of the room and call my dad a Richard Cranium,
Oh.
which means
a
dickhead.
Yes.
The first time I heard him mumble that as he was walking out, I'm like, oh, you're clever, kid.
Yeah.
He was, I don't know, 12. You know
I would
what
just
I mean?
scream into my pillow, "You're a bitch." When I'd be mad at my mom. Did you do that?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, man, I get so mad. And I just be
afraid.
like, you were too afraid? Oh, my God.
Afraid.
My mom, my mom would spank us if we were bad. But I felt like she thought, like, that was healthy. Like,
Yeah.
she was like, good. They fucking hate me. I did the right thing,
Yeah. What's mom's name? No, I'm just kidding.
Deb. She's a Deborah.
She's a Deborah.
She's a Deborah.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember not being angry. I just remember always being sad.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
worse.
yeah. Is it worse?
Yes.
I don't know. I think they're both bad.
I mean, I would be sad, like, oh, she won't let me go to my friend's house. I'm sad.
Yeah.
But like, I get angry too, like, oh, I could just murder her right now,
Yeah.
But being sad all the time, oh, that makes my heart hurt.
So, okay, we're going to look at something really quick here. Most popular names in professions. And I'm going to say a name, and let's see if you can guess maybe if that, like if I said Robert, right? Like we were talking about that before.
No,
what would
wait,
it be
give me the
before?
profession and let me guess
Okay,
the
that's
name.
all right. That's what
Yeah,
we're going to do.
yeah,
All right, let's see.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
still thinking. It says,
Okay.
it's still thinking. Give it a second. Give it
Yeah.
a second. Okay. So this is what it could find on the web, and we're doing Chat GPT here.
Okay.
And this is Chronicles, and what else did it give us? It gave us some stuff from SF Gate, NASA. Okay, we're gonna figure this out.
Okay.
So it says trades and technical fields, the most popular names out there, according
Okay.
to Chat GPT.
Okay.
What would you think a mechanic's name would be? And it actually gives us like 6.
I'm going to say John.
Okay, what else? John's a good one. That's not
Right.
named here. That is a good one.
That's my husband's name.
Yeah, that's a good one, though.
Which really it
mechanic.
should be laborer. He is a laborer.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, okay. So, how about Greg?
Yeah. Dave.
Dave.
How about Patrick?
Dude, I was gonna say Pat or Patrick.
It says Fred.
Fred's a good one. Yeah.
Rick.
Yeah, Rick is a good one.
How about Jerry?
No, I've never heard of the
Me
name
neither.
Jerry.
And how about Randy?
Randy, I've heard.
So there's your mechanics.
Okay. I can see all those as mechanics.
All right, this is
okay.
fun. All right, you
yeah,
ready?
Yeah.
Electrical engineers. I don't know that I know too many.
I'm gonna
so
say
I don't
Jake.
know. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. These are a little
Tim.
bit
A Tim.
longer names.
Okay. So Jeffrey.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Although,
Jeremiah.
yes, you're right there. So it's Harvey.
She says you're right there.
You are
Harvey.
so close.
Okay.
Eugene.
Oh my gosh.
Bernard.
No.
Edwin.
No.
Charles.
Charles.
I
could see
definitely.
that.
And Alfred.
Although Charles, I think more of also in like a laborer or a heavy machine operator
yes.
or a truck driver.
And he doesn't go by Chuck. He's Charles.
Charles.
Right?
Yeah.
Chuck, I feel like could be a mechanic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, how about farmers?
That's John. Farmer John.
Yeah. The first
Peter.
one is
Paul.
Dwayne. And that's
Dwayne?
Yeah, that's
Get
absolutely,
out.
I could see that.
That's an actor's name.
Ooh, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Maybe he was once a farmer. How about Marlon?
Shut the
It
front door.
says it on here.
We have a friend,
We
Marlon,
do.
that is a farmer.
And he's a farmer.
Get the
It's
hell
the second name
outta
on here. I knew you would like that.
That is so funny.
Darren.
Okay.
Mavis
No.
with a V. And Elwood.
No.
I know.
Where are they coming up with this?
They have proof.
Get out of here.
I don't know. All right, legal and academic professions.
Okay, now we're in the Dicks. The Richards and the Dicks.
Let me put my glasses on and find a dick.
Thomas.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me think of some really fucking fancy names.
I love that. So the 4 professions that it's giving us are lawyers, judges, historians, and librarians. So if you name a name, I'll tell you in which
Thomas
bucket. Judges.
and George. I'm thinking of the founding fathers.
I love that.
Benjamin.
So this is funny because I feel like we're naming all male names.
Oh, we haven't named any female.
Right?
What a bunch of dicks we are.
Yes. But I think it's because we were like referring to Steve and John like our husbands.
Right.
The librarians here, it's all female names, just so you know.
Stephanie, Jessica, hold on. Gertrude.
I love that.
I do love that
Eleanor.
name. Eleanor.
Joanna.
Yeah. Yes.
How about Abigail?
Yes.
Margot?
Margot, no.
I feel like that's an actress.
Margot goes on cruises.
Yeah, she does.
And Margot's a bitch.
I think she's retired and her husband died and she got all his money.
National Lampoon.
Yes.
Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Why is the carpet all wet? Todd.
I don't know, Margot.
Yeah.
Nanette.
Okay.
And Julia.
Yeah. I could see
But what
that.
about lawyers, judges, and historians? What do you think?
Suzanne.
Yeah. There's an Emma. That's a historian.
Okay.
Adrian.
Adrian's a boy's name.
Theodore.
Can't tell me any different.
Yeah.
Theodore. Yeah. Theodore. Yeah.
Caroline. What song was that?
Is
Caroline
it Outcast?
song? Oh,
Caroline.
yes. Oh, yes. That's right. Oh, I have to listen to them tomorrow. I forgot about
I
Outcast.
know you'd like to think your shit
Oh,
down.
That's awesome. Yes. Forgot about that.
Sorry.
No,
that's how my brain works.
I will be listening to Outcast tomorrow. How about lawyers? I got Norton.
No.
William.
Yes.
Sanford.
Yes.
Cecilia. Like my grandma's name?
Yes.
Cecily?
Cecily?
Maybe?
Cecil?
Cecily?
Cecil?
Augustus?
Augustus!
You're tainting the chocolate. Isn't that Willy Wonka? And Marshall.
I could see that.
I feel like Thomas could be in there for lawyers too or
Yeah.
something, right? Judge Thomas.
Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Thomas.
Jeffrey I feel like Jeffrey goes with everything.
Everything.
Do you know a Jeffrey?
I know a lot of Jeffs.
I feel like I don't know too many.
I know
but I feel like their
Jeffs
name
like
can go anywhere.
Jeff, and I know Jeffs like Geoff.
Oh yeah.
Geoffs. You know, you always want to say it like
Geoffs,
Geoffs,
yeah.
but it's just Jeff.
How about the next one is creative roles.
Okay.
Graphic designers, guitarists, poets, and writers.
Okay.
Again, we have a mix.
Shakespeare. No.
Yes.
I'm gonna say like Aaron. Aaron is a creative name.
Yep.
A creative boy's name. I'm gonna say Brody.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then like
How about guitarists?
Eric Clapton.
Yeah, exactly. Buddy.
Yeah.
Trey, like on a
Trey.
stay right from Fish.
Yeah.
Richie.
I'm
Slash.
I'm like Motley Crue.
Eddie. Mick.
Yeah.
Graphic designers. I got a Vanessa.
Okay.
Allison.
Yeah.
What
I
else
like
you
those
think?
names.
Give me a few more. What do you think?
Stacy.
Yeah. Close. Jessica.
Jessica. Yeah.
Diana. How about
Diana?
poets?
I feel like Diana would be more in the poet category.
I feel like Diana would be political.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
she would be like
Yeah.
right-hand woman to the president,
Yeah.
Diana. Maybe it's the Lady Di
Probably,
thing too.
yeah. I was just like Princess
maybe.
Diana.
Yeah. Maybe. That's what I'm thinking.
Because she was amazing.
Someone of higher power.
Yeah. What are we on to now? Poets?
Poets.
Eugene.
Yeah. Edmund. Edgar. Ellen.
Poe.
Hannah.
What about like Colleen?
Yeah. Anne. Dorothy.
And
Colleen and Dorothy, I
Yeah.
feel like the same with the O's.
yeah.
How about firefighters? Now we're doing
Oh.
public services.
That's John, Tom,
Jason, Ryan,
Doug.
Darren, Brandon,
Yeah.
Jeremy, Matthew.
like
right?
one letter, one syllable names. Al. It's Al. Bill. Bob.
Al was a shoe salesman, though.
Well, same difference.
Al could also be a bartender,
Yes.
right? I feel.
Yeah.
Police officers. I feel like there's one name here that I just feel like is popular, but maybe it's because I know a few. I don't know.
So Robert.
It's Kevin.
Oh, Kevin.
Does that sound like a police officer
Kevin.
name?
I'm always yelling at Kevin because I'm either yelling at our friend Kevin or our neighbor's dog Kevin. So I can't imagine yelling at a police officer named Kevin.
Kevin.
But that's funny.
The other one is Wayne, Kim, Timothy, and Raymond.
No, Wayne. I've never met a police officer named Wayne.
Officer
but
Wayne.
I've met a line cook named Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
a line cook.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Soldiers.
See, those are all one syllable names also.
So
Sue.
You know what's okay? There's
Dan.
There's 6 names here. 4 of them start with J. So I don't.
John, Jeremy,
Justin, Joshua,
Josephina.
Jeremy. You got Jeremy. Jeremy's on here. Jacob.
Joshua. See, but you can change it. It's Joe, Jer,
Yep.
Josh,
Jake.
Kyle's
another one on here.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Of course, Kyle's on there.
How about we'll end with this one? How about CEOs?
I feel like we're going back to the Tom, Dick, and Harry's again.
100%.
Yeah.
Fred, Bruce, Jack, Bob, Peter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how about Deborah, Sally, Deborah, again, spelled differently.
Yeah.
Cynthia, and Carolyn.
And you are never allowed to call them by their first name. It is Mr. and Mrs.
Is it?
Blank. Well, yeah. You meet a CEO and they're like, call me Tom. And you're like, I prefer Mr.
Mac
whatever.
or whatever their last name is.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Maybe I don't care.
And they will never learn your name. That's for sure.
Never. So maybe that's why I don't care to call them whatever. It doesn't matter.
You're just like, huh? Yeah.
All right. So we're in agreement that we look our names.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
What other name would you give me? What do I look like?
Oh, gosh. That's a hard one.
Because you know my name.
If I had to give you a different name, it would probably be like Anne.
That's
which
my
is
middle
your
name.
Yeah. I know. It's like a cop-out. But yeah, something like that, like Claire, maybe.
Yeah.
I could see you being a Claire.
I know a Claire a
Yeah.
Claire at another job. She was very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
What
looked
about
like
me?
a Claire.
What about me if you had to rename me?
I feel like you would look like maybe a Steph or Stephanie.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yep.
That is
Yep.
so funny.
Yep.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I know. It's a good name.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like I would have no problem saying Steph.
Hey, Steph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Steph and Ann show.
This,
What? Did we just start a third podcast?
oh,
We could
get
talk
the fuck
shit.
out of here.
We're busy enough.
I'm going to bed.
Thanks everybody for listening.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
I almost forgot this was Anxiety Makes Me Poop.
Is
This
it
was
Anxiety?
so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun.
It's called The Anxiety of Your Name.
There we go.
Of owning, not looking your name. Anyways, okay, we'll name it. See you later, guys. Bye.